Power Play Radio right here on the Overtime Radio Network. Huge night in high school hockey as we're going to look at the Apple Valley-Burnsville clash. It's going to be seen on myfoxhockey.com live, 7:15 face-off tonight. We're also going to look a little bit further into the contest, the mother of all rivalries that features War Road and Roseau, as we have a special report filed by Wild FM 102's Zach Swanson. Let's check this out.
Good evening and welcome to another production of Roseau Rams Sports on Wild 102. Tonight, the Roseau Rams and the War Road Warriors renew a rivalry that has been repeated since the 1940s and has been a staple in high school hockey in the state of Minnesota. These two teams have played for many playoff seedings, section titles, and the occasional bragging right not only at the high school level, but in youth hockey and even during pickup games. History aside, both teams enter the matchup tonight having finally found their respective strides, and combined, these teams have won their last 13 games in a row. Warriors coach Alan Hasbargen on why this game is important.
There's a lot of pride on the line here. These kids, when they're squirts and mites and peewees, they play each other, 8 times a year. They get to know each other almost like brothers. So it's kind of a huge rivalry that way. But as far as the intensity for the seeding, it lacks that.
Even if the intensity lacks due to the different classes, Rams coach Andy Lumbaum has his team ready to go.
There's no question about it. Warroad's going to be tough, and we are going to have to play our systems very well. And like I said, it's a rivalry game, so you're going to have to keep an even keel. Come out with a lot of energy. But if stuff doesn't go your way, you can't get upset about it. And if stuff starts going your way, you got to keep the momentum going. You can't just. There's no point in the game tonight that we're going to be able to sit back and take a look around. I'm sure our world's going to be right in our face again. So you got to keep the pressure on, and you got to keep your tempo up. And no matter what happens, you got to just keep reminding yourself to keep playing hard.
Regardless of section importance, you can be sure that these players on the ice tonight want this one just as badly as any other game this year. We're moments away from face-off, and we should have a dandy for you tonight from the Gardens Arena in War Road. Coming up next, we'll hear from the coaches. I'll be joined by my broadcast partner, Dave Buxen, and we'll break down the matchup between the War Road Warriors and your Roseau Rams in the Brian Erickson Auto Sales pregame show on Wild 102 and Wild102FM.com.
Not much more can be said about that one. Holy smokes, that's going to be a great contest as we look forward to recapping that. Zach is going to have all of the highlights for us. We'll be featuring that game along with the Apple Valley-Burnsville game on the Overtime Radio Network tomorrow. We'll also take another look at some of the spotlight games that are on the docket from the MNHockeyHub.com as well. Among them are the Grand Rapids Thunderhawks and the Duluth East Greyhounds. Our own Jordan Doffing will be in the house. We'll have post-game reaction from that one as well. Of course, that Grand Rapids-Duluth East game. The Hounds have pretty much been in charge of that rivalry over the past few years, and right now the Grand Rapids Thunderhawks want to do something about it. They're going to have to lick some wounds, though, as they came off that tough 5-1 loss against a very good Hermantown Hawks squad, and that kept the Hawks undefeated, by the way, with a 12-0-1 record. Meanwhile, just the second loss in the season as that goes in the books against the Grand Rapids Thunderhawks. The Duluth East Greyhounds are absolutely on a roll and are going to give them all sorts of trouble. So we'll have full feedback on that one as well. Tonight on myfoxhockey.com, it's the Burnsville Blaze at 7-3-2 against the Apple Valley Eagles at 9-3-0. At one point, both of these teams were ranked at the same time in the top 10, but right now they are both on the outside looking in, pretty close to cracking it once again. You take a look at where they stand in the South Suburban Conference standings. It's Burnsville with the 5-0-1 record, just 1 point ahead of the Apple Valley Eagles, who stand at 5-1-0. Their lone blemish in the conference, of course, at the hands of the Apple Valley Eagles by a score of 4-2. Putting the puck in the net for both of these teams has not been much of an issue. You look at the Blaze, 64 goals in the season, and the Apple Valley Eagles, 60. Leading the way for Apple Valley is A.J. Michelson with his 17 tallies so far. And then Mike Dockery's 13 against 19 assists and 32 points have been very impressive on his end as well for the Burnsville Blaze. Penalty killing units, 81% killed off for Burnsville, 83% killed off for Apple Valley. The goaltending is going to be an interesting matchup. Bodie Engum, considered among one of the best in the state, at 7-3-1, has a 2.68 goals against average, an 898 save percentage, and 2 shutouts. He'll be going up against a goaltender that says, hey, put me in that conversation among the best as well. My name's Aaron Gretz. I'm 3-0 with a 2.09 goals against average. He has the 904 save percentage and 4 shutouts to his credit. Every coach in the metro area that's taken on the Burnsville Blaze has said the same thing. A very difficult team to play. They're going to ring it and they're going to run. They're very well coached. They play well for their coach, Yanni Kivialmi, who's done a great job with that program. Meanwhile, on the other hand, Jerry Hayes leads his Apple Valley Eagles. They are fast, quick, puck-moving hockey club. Vince Pedri will be leading the way along the end line on the defensive side of things. He's joined as well by Anthony Long, who does a great job as well. It's a game that's going to have a ton of give and take to it. We're going to have it all for you at 7:15 on myfoxhockey.com. If you miss it or the day got away from you, the replay will be available on MyFox Hockey as well. And we'll also have the highlights posted right here on the mnhockeyhub.com. Don't be shy. Check us out tomorrow morning. The Overtime Radio Network should have a show posted up by noon, and that'll have all of the latest updates from the great games in the state of Minnesota, the state of hockey. That's going to do it for this edition of Power Play Radio. I'm Pete Wagner. So long, everybody.